Hi, I'm Beth. I'm a compulsive overeater, and every day I write down my food, share it with my sponsor. I make it and eat it. It's delicious. And abstinence and sobriety give me the life I have today, and they're the most important things I have to do every day. My home group is Monday night, 7:30. Why not? On the Zoom, and my abstinence date is October 30th, 2020. And I'm really grateful to be here. I love to see everybody here. I don't get to a meeting often on Saturdays, but this is fantastic. And thanks for asking me. So I thought today maybe I'd talk a little bit about plan, prepare, and protect in the context of my personal abstinence, but also it's, of course, things I've learned from my sponsors and everybody in meetings that I go to and listen to. I'm a compulsive eater because I'm addicted to food when I take the first bite of the foods that we don't eat or anything that's outside of my 3 meals. I experience shame, regret, emotional consequences, physical consequences, spiritual consequences. And I think I've been a compulsive eater, a food addict since I was a little kid. And it's in my family. So I feel like that's really all you need to know. You know, the weight is the weight and not the weight. And it's not the weight. I mean, one miraculous thing, both my sponsor and I forgot about weigh day this month. I think it's the first time it's ever happened. And I was actually kind of happy. And then we just had to do it the next day. So anyway, but plan. So for physical planning, the basic of my planning is I have to have the foods that I eat in my house. I have to go to the store. I have to make time for it. I have to plan for off-routine situations. That means traveling or going to somebody else's houses or change in my schedule. Restaurants, family, extended family meals. For some reason, they think 3 o'clock is a good time to eat. My husband's family, and they're used to me now. Like I bring my stuff with me and I socialize and help prepare. And then when it gets to be my dinner time, I bring out my food. And so, but I have to plan it. And I do. And then it's not a big deal with them. So really the planning, I mean, having the food in the house is the main thing for that. So, and preparing. So the basics for me for preparing is Sunday nights, I make my salads for the week because I work and I love to see my Tupperware all stacked up in the corner. There's a favorite dressing I use. I make sure that I prepare that. I have a big jar of it in my refrigerator and it's delicious. I make my multiple vegetables and protein for the week when possible and have that ready. And I'm really fortunate because I'm in the financial situation right now that I can afford to have stuff in the house. It wasn't always like that in my previous abstinences. I had to, it wasn't as easy. So I'm really grateful that I'm in that situation. But I understand how hard it is if you're not. Um, Another part of preparing is I have to do it. So if I'm tired or sick and I don't make with the salads, on my Sundays and I don't do that, I have to give myself permission to do the easier, less, like canned vegetables and pre-prepared proteins and stuff like that. I have to say to myself, that's okay. It doesn't have to all be perfect and organic or anything like that. I mean, that's all good when I can do it, but I have to kind of give myself a break when it comes to preparation. And that's important for me to stay abstinent. I have to prepare myself mentally for off routine, days where my meals aren't when I'm used to them and when I want them. And I pretty much do all that. If I don't, it's a warning light for me. If I find myself becoming mentally lazy about my food prep, I know that can be a dangerous thing for me. So I call somebody or I look at and see what's going on. And then to me, the most important one is, oh, wait, am I still doing? No, protect. All right. Protect is the most important one. My mom, who's 89, and probably one of us, I know she is, but it's up to, she might not think she is. Anyway, so she is also kind of mischievous. And so she will take some of my food from my plate, even if I tell her not to. And I forgot. She didn't forget. She does it on purpose. She lives far away. I'm not with her a whole lot. So, I love her. So after the first time it happened during this round of this 3 years of almost 3 years of my abstinence, I have learned if I'm ever going to be eating a meal with her, I'm aware that this could possibly happen. And I have scale and backup right there because I'm telling you, she's quick. she'll take one of those little salad things off my plate. And so I've talked to my sponsor about it. I just have to, excuse me, mom. And I go in the kitchen, I get out the scale and I put that extra little thing back in there. It's not the original thing, but my sponsor and I have worked it out because I swear I have to anticipate that she's going to do that. So that's kind of funny. So I have backup. I protect my feelings when others seem to judge me about my food. And that it can be judging me in a like good way or a bad way. Like at work, at lunch, everybody's always, you're so healthy and you're so blah, blah, blah. And so I have to not let that kind of ego boosting comment get mixed up with why I'm doing it. I'm not abstinent to be healthy and organic or, whatever. They always think I'm a vegetarian too. And I'm like, no, I'm not a vegetarian. It's none of their business, but I'm nice and I like them. And occasionally there might be somebody who's interested in doing the same thing. And I want to keep myself open to that. But I have to not let that muddy the waters of why I have the lunches I have. I have the lunches I have. Yeah, they're delicious and they look great, but they're not there for that. They're there because I'm a compulsive eater and it's like I have to do it. And I love it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like it. And I do sometimes let my ego swell a little bit when I hear those things from them. But I don't even say to them anymore, no, I don't have willpower because, it's just not necessary. And I have to go with that. I was at a retreat with these in the other program I started going to this retreat just a few times with a lot of old timers, and a couple of them were in another food program, and then they stopped going to the other food program. And the last time I was at the retreat, during a meeting, one of them talked about how dysfunctional weighing and measuring your food was and went on and on and on about it. And I was sitting right there. Of course, I had been weighing and measuring my food the whole retreat. And I felt my feelings I was overwhelmed. I called my sponsor after the meeting and but it was a good learning experience for me because I realized that this program is not for everybody. And if I didn't have a true addiction and hit a bottom so many times, then I wouldn't need this program. And it's not for people who aren't food addicts. Just like AA isn't for people who aren't alcoholics. Like, why would you do that? You would do it, I don't know why. So it's not for people who just need to go on a diet. It's not for people who aren't the way I am. And I understand that. And this person was also a therapist, and she's like, and I would tell my patients that it's totally dysfunctional eating. And I'm like, oh, anyway, but I did learn from that. And I want to write her a letter. Actually, never mind. I want to write her a letter sometime and explain, or try to just not explain, but state my opinion that what we do in this food program is for food addicts, not for the general population. And that compared to what I used to do with food, this is not a dysfunctional way of eating for me. Plus, I could also bring out my doctor, the tests that are all perfect now, my weight that's all within good range now, my normal energy level that's all pretty high for 66 years old. I don't really need to bring that out to her, but I kind of want to, but that's just because I'm human. Anyway, so I have to protect myself and my feelings, but also I need to protect myself from myself. And that is those warning signs. If I'm too tired to plan and prepare, then I need to look and see, am I sick? Am I actually not getting enough sleep? Or is it something in my mind that's setting myself up for a relapse? And then I need to start going to more meetings, talking to more people. And my spiritual solution is connection with others. I need to connect with you all, and I need to do that, like medicine. And I have medicine that I'm supposed to take. One is like every 3 days, and sometimes I don't want to take it, but I know that it's good for me, and that's a kind of self-discipline. I don't have self-control when it comes to eating. That's not a thing, or willpower, but I do have the ability to follow directions, even if they're directions that I give myself about, oh, it's time to connect more, because I am pretty bad about calling people, but I know when I need to, and then I do it. Um, so I need to recommit my purpose every day. My purpose is to be the best person I can at my job, because I'm a teacher. I work with little kids and adults, and I feel like I'm at the end of my career and I do have a lot to give. And I don't need a lot from anybody else, especially like credit. So I'm learning to get rid of those old ideas about needing to like shine all the time at work. And that's related to abstinence, because I want to be just one of you. I want to be in the middle. I want to be um, happy and joyous and free, but it also another bosom on the bus. I just don't want to have to shine. And so I need to recommit to that sometimes every morning. I don't have a problem committing to my sponsor every morning. That's like a joyful thing for me. And also, a past sponsor I had, she was really important to my abstinence. I love going to meetings, and I love Zoom meetings. I wish we did have some face-to-face meetings in my area, and maybe we will someday. Um, I think I'm about done. I mean, I'm so happy to be here, and abstinence really. Oh wait, I just want to touch on one thing. So my daughters, what are my older daughter had a history of eating disorders, and so what I do is threatening to her. She's really intelligent and intense, but I know that she thinks that what I do with food is dysfunctional. She's in that camp. Um, and to me, the fact that she cares about it so much kind of is a like, well, honey, why do you even care what I do with my food? So I have to watch out for that. That's like one of the things I could see that would lead me to, I don't know, not saying, not being abstinent in a day when I'm with her. Um, so I do have to worry about that. I feel like it's for so many people, it's a way to connect. And I have given up that connection. I've given up the connection you get when you share a dessert with people, or when have that meal and everybody's passing stuff around. But as I said before, the reason I've given that up is because what I do with the food when I'm not abstinent cuts me off from people far more than that other connection, is. So I feel like I'm able to be connected with my family and my friends and the people I work with, and people in the program far more authentically, and just, I don't know, just a closer connection than I can have that when I'm constantly preoccupied with food, which I think everybody here knows how that is. So I'm going to stop there, even though I have a couple minutes left. And I'd love to hear from everybody. And thank you so much for having me share.